So after looking through the literature, we were trying to find a way that could describe how awesome our team was. We realized there was nothing, so we made up a term. And despite the 33,000 Google hits, we did make this term up. It's productive conflict. And so what it means to us, basically, as we define it, you might want to take notes, is it is constructive conflict, but it's done in a calm, precise, and efficient manner. And so we're going to take you through how we've reached or developed into a higher level of productive conflict. What we do is we're going through the strategies and structures through 3 stages, 3 main key points that we went through during our simulation. Our framework is basically we're going to talk about communication, the amount of dialogue that occurred between us, conflict, our ability to disagree with one another, both in positive ways and negative, and the result is effectiveness, team effectiveness. And that's as we described it in class. The efficiency, the higher of our effectiveness, the peak, the self-actualization level, for us is productive conflict. So now we're going to carry you through that story.
So our first day, Jimjam, was clearly marked by lack of communication. That resulted with low conflict. Of course, if you don't talk to each other, no conflict. At the same time, there's no way to come to common assumptions from which your organizational culture will flourish. We definitely learned later on that that was a huge mistake we did on the first day, and we could see that there was no effectiveness. You can refer back to the baseball example, where each player thinks that they're very efficient, however, in the team, they just end up not pulling the weight. For all we know, there might have been somebody on our team desperately waving a white flag. But we were just staring into our computers and did not notice that. As a result of it, we made a wrong decision to go into the Indian market.
As we move forward in our study, we had high communication, but we also had high conflict. And I'm going to talk you through the recall decision. After the first day, we decided to have a meeting in the corner of the room. You guys might have noticed this if you're trying to walk in and out, and we're blocking the door. So we went over there and we started exchanging information. But as time was running out, we realized that not everybody had everything prepared. So we ran back to our computer screens and we're trying to read the information and scream over everybody else that was also screaming in our class. And the body language and how we were raising our voice, it became a hostile situation where everybody kind of dug their heels in, and there was dysfunctional decision-making climate, and we were not exchanging information in an efficient way.
Yeah, another example of conflict that we had that day, we had a little debate about pricing, Ivan and I. Ivan made a comment that we are making bad pricing decisions. So I took it a little personal and said back to him, well, maybe we're doing a bad R&D decision.
So one, wait, the pricing decision was pretty bad.
Yeah, but your R&D decision was
Taking notes.
So yeah, and we had this going on for a while. It was very unproductive. And then I got some feedback, and I realized I was very high on the ladder of inference. I assumed he was telling me that I was doing a bad job, and I drew my own conclusions and reacted on that. And what struck me the most, and one of the key learnings that I had, was that it will happen very fast in my mind. So in less than a second, I was up to the ladder of inference without even noticing until these guys told me. So at that time, we were transitioning between a baseball team and a basketball team. So we're sort of a basketball team.
So now you're wondering how did we go from a basketball team to a basketball team? Well, it was actually a great story of how we looked inward and realized that we wanted to be a team that would engage healthily in conflict. And we not only made that value decision, but we also revisited a procedure that we came up with in an early round, which was to come up with a 15-minute kind of collective decision before each of us then went back to our computers to kind of work through those issues and then meet up again. So we stayed very true to that. And that did 2 things. One, it physically allowed us to see each other, to discuss, to see emotion face to face. And the second thing is it created a great forum for debate. And the debate was healthy, and it really moved the discussion forward. We went from the recall decision, which was kind of a really difficult conversation to have and not a great outcome for the team, and we ended up moving to the joint venture discussion, which was great, robust discussion. Everyone felt like we left there with a great decision that people were comfortable with.
So going forward, our big point is that we want to trust in the structures, strategies, norms, and values that we've created. Because we feel it has helped us bring us to productive conflict. We are able to disagree with one another, but we do it in a concise, efficient way. And that is what's developed us now. Take notes from this to this to this.